Dear investors, on behalf of Katapult Ocean, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to our annual Investor Day. We are beyond excited to see so many busy investors showing up at this time of year. At Katapult, the annual Investor Day are truly the highlight of the year for us. This is the time when we celebrate future-proof solutions, collaboration, impact investments, and positive systemic change. And we thank you for sharing the time with us. Before we meet our 12 newest ocean impact companies, I'll tell you what we've been up to at Katapult. So since we started Katapult in 2016, we've done various investment themes and accelerator programs throughout the world. We invested globally in 179 innovative companies. 74 of them are Katapult Ocean portfolio companies. Today at Katapult, we have 2 VCs, 1 foundation, and an annual conference here in Oslo. At Katapult Ocean, we're investing globally in ocean tech ventures and considered to be the most active ocean impact venture fund globally. Our second VC, Katapult Africa, is investing regionally in Africa in food, agriculture, and climate ventures. Our foundation, Katapult Foundation, is a launchpad and a supporter of a number of transformative impact initiatives, such as Coalition for Impact, Nordic Impact Investment Network, and the System Change Collective, TWIST, which stands for Together We Invest for Systems Transformation, now consisting of more than 77 members globally. Katapult Foundation also hosts our annual conference, Katapult Future Fest, which was held in May in Oslo this year. Over 3 days, we gathered more than 700 impact investors, founders and funders from all over the world. As for Katapult Ocean, we've never been busier. This fall, we're running our 7th accelerator program. Our large portfolio of companies are thriving, and we continue to do follow-on investments in several of them. And our impact report was launched earlier this year. We highly recommend you to read it.
We are proud to be an unofficial nominator of the Earthshot Prize, launched by Prince William. Last year, we submitted 1% of all nominations. I'm proud to say that our portfolio company, Keep It Cool, won this year's prize. So congratulations to Francis and team Keep It Cool in Kenya and Uganda.
Lastly, we've been searching the world for the best ocean solutions for the future. And we look forward to presenting 12 of them here today. Enjoy.
The future right now feels for many of us like facing a wave about to break on our heads. But what if that wave is not about to crush us, but a power to be harnessed? What if we are facing a wave of sustainable transformation of the economy? What if we're facing the biggest innovation challenge in human history, and that we need to mobilize all our know-how and capital and resources on how to think about growth within planetary boundaries? At New York Climate Week a few weeks ago, the leading climate scientist Johan Rockström shared the last planetary health check. We have overstepped 6 out of 9 planetary boundaries, and we're still moving the wrong way on all of them. They also state that we have about a 5-year window to adapt to a state of regrowth within this Earth system. So today, I want to make the case for regrowth, a new economic paradigm within planetary boundaries. And we're at such a magical moment in time where we come from about 10,000 years of stable state on Earth with only 2 degrees Celsius variation. This is what Rockström refers to as the corridor of life. And about 200 years ago, we changed the way we viewed nature. The philosopher Descartes said, "Cognito ergo sum," I think, therefore I am. And thus we started to separate the notion of human and nature being different, being separate, breaking with all ancestral wisdom and prior generations of humanity. That also led us to this notion of nature being of something we could just extract from and exploit like a machine. And only 50 years ago, we stepped into this paradigm of growth at all costs until the point at which now our entire house is on fire. So all human wisdom and all Earth system science clearly states the same. We are the first generation to know, without a doubt, that this is a fact and the least generation to regrow back into a safe landing for planet Earth. So this is it. It's pivotal, it's personal, and we could not be more incentivized and empowered than we are right now. And we can see it everywhere. We know the change. We can see it, observe it. We live on a planet that is new, but we're still operating on an old world operative system. So we are the system, and this is an all hands on deck situation, and there are no other adults. We are the system change. And for those of you that don't feel any accountability, responsibility right now, you might be a narcissist, and good luck with that. Open a bottle of champagne, you're on the top deck of Titanic. But for the rest of us that feel something, a fire in the belly or the pain deep inside, knowing that what we do is misaligned with the future we want for our children, we have the opportunity to align ourselves, our business interests, with those of society, planet, and future generations. And we all know and love a child. This is my newborn niece Nelly, a beautiful Norwegian Zanzibarian lump of love. And in every decision I make, I need to consider, will it be good for her? For her when she is 25 in 2050? For her to be safe, to breathe, to eat in the future? And we are not separate people as uncles or parents and professionals. We are one person. We underestimate how much power we have and how our agency is strong right now. So when I can observe the change with my own eyes, if thousands of scientists says there is a 5-year window to change the world for the better, this is my 5-year mission. I'm on regrowth day 1, and I'll be the change driver in my element, of which is the ocean. And the ocean needs money, because money is power. And when we invest, we don't predict the future, we shape it. And the ocean is important because it produces more than 50% of the oxygen that we breathe. It's the source of protein and food for more than 3 billion people on the planet. It's the world's and the planet's largest natural carbon sink, literally storing the CO2 that we produce. And it has the solutions already to reduce the emissions gap by up to 35% on a 1.5 degree pathway. So if we can invest 100x in circular resources, green energy and transportation, food and water, we can solve this. This power is in our hands. But in this moment, less than 1% of the capital out there is going to this opportunity. And that is a $8.5 trillion value at risk for listed companies because of ocean degradation. And without blue, no green. Without the ocean, no us. So this means we have 100x investment and growth opportunity if we put our strategies where our life future is. It's also the possibility for us as people to reconnect with ourselves, our connection to nature, and seeing nature as the most powerful technology for regrowth. And reimagine what we can do together and regrow as a collective, as a movement. So this could be all our regrowth day 1s. Maybe together we are the movement, the current, the wave, and the changing tide. And the first step is to align what we decide to do today with what we want to see for the future.
We're thrilled to present the 12 participant companies in this year's program, each one pushing the boundaries of innovation in ocean technology. These startups are not just making waves, they're shaping the future of our blue planet. As you'll soon see, we at Katapult Ocean believe this groundbreaking innovation can come in many forms, and sometimes from unexpected places. Our first company is a perfect example of this, so let's get to it. First, we have Norwegian Mycelium, a biotech innovator revolutionizing sustainable protein production. The technology transforms liquid waste streams from industries such as dairy into high-quality, nutrient-rich protein for aquaculture. By harnessing the small and mighty mycelium, Nomi can not only reduce waste, but provide a sustainable alternative to traditional fish feed, addressing two critical environmental challenges simultaneously. To tell you more, here's Nomi.
When I first met my co-founder David, a mushroom scientist, I honestly thought he was a bit crazy, thinking that fungi can change the world. But the more I learned, the more I realized the huge impact these tiny forms of life can have. Since then, we've created a bold vision to transform the food system, which motivated me to leave my 15-year career in big tech and Google to build Nomi. Nearly 1/3 of all food produced globally is wasted, and water-based side streams generated in food production make up a substantial part of this. And we're talking 260 billion liters of nutrients wasted annually, enough to feed 40 million people. At the same time, we have an urgent need to produce more food on less resources to feed a growing population. Nomi has a solution that addresses both these challenges simultaneously: fungi. Combining fermentation, advanced sensor technology and AI, we partner with food producers across the world to transform their side streams into high-value fungal ingredients for B2B food and feed applications. Coupled with a strong patent portfolio, we will be creating licensing opportunities globally, and we're already generating revenue and commercial partnerships in key markets. Let's have a closer look at the aquaculture industry in our home market, where the feed accounts for 75% of the total climate emissions. In Norway, the world leader in farmed salmon, almost all feed ingredients come from imported sources like fish meal and soy. In response, the industry and government have pledged to source 25% of feed ingredients locally and sustainably by 2034, revealing a €6 billion market opportunity in Norway alone. Our high-quality, highly scalable, low-carbon solution can replace fish meal in diets and match it in price, helping the aquaculture industry meet its dual goals of sustainability and affordable, nutritious products. We have an incredibly diverse and future-proof team with strong expertise within science, business development, data analytics, and industrial scale-up of fermentation processes. And most importantly, we share a deep commitment to deliver on our vision for a food system that is circular by nature. We have kicked off a €6 million equity round, timed with the Katapult Ocean program. These funds will help us to move from pilot to small commercial scale, continue our global expansion and revenue generation from our food and feed partners. We are looking for a value line lead or co-lead investor that can join our strong existing investor consortium to bring Nomi to this next stage. Come be a part of our journey to create the sustainable low food and feed solution the world needs in order to be a thriving planet in the future. We would love to speak if you want to learn more. Thank you.
Our next company is also using reactors, but of a much different sort and without any mushrooms. Keeping that in mind, we're excited to introduce Carbon Ridge, a startup at the forefront of maritime decarbonization. Their revolutionary carbon capture technology can be retrofitted to existing ships, reducing CO2 and other major pollutants by up to 75%. With the global shipping industry responsible for about 3% of greenhouse gas emissions, Carbon Ridge's solution has the potential to make a significant impact, not just in the maritime sector, but on climate change at large. With all that in mind, let's hear from Chase and his team now at Carbon Ridge.
Hi everyone, my name is Chase Dwyer and I am the CEO and co-founder of Carbon Ridge, a developer of carbon capture technology and services for the maritime shipping industry. Shipping is a monumental industry with 50,000 vessels moving over 90% of world trade, resulting in 3% of annual CO2 emissions. With global regulations now requiring ship owners to reduce CO2, as well as sulfur and nitrous dioxide related emissions from their vessels, as well as growing cost and supply chain limitations of low carbon fuels, onboard carbon capture has emerged as a critical solution for the maritime shipping industry to decarbonize. We have developed a patent-pending, highly efficient, low footprint, and easily integratable carbon capture technology, as well as an end-to-end service to deal with the captured CO2 to decarbonize shipping. Our technology removes CO2, as well as sulfur and nitrous dioxide from the vessel's exhaust, acting as a complete exhaust gas treating solution. And our solution can be retrofitted on board existing vessels, as well as installed on new build ships. Our patent-pending technology uses commercially proven centrifuges which reduced the overall size of the carbon capture process by over 75%. Our technology also reduces energy consumption by over 60% compared to conventional carbon capture solutions. Our business model is providing carbon capture as a service to ship owners. What that means is we either sell or finance our carbon capture technology for ships, as well as providing a solution on the back end to manage the CO2 that's captured on board vessels. We also then work with a ship owner to monetize the process to deliver the lowest cost solution in the market. We have built a seasoned team with significant experience in carbon capture, naval engineering, and deploying industrial technologies. Over 2023, we validated our core carbon capture technology on land. In September, we closed $10 million in new funding and are currently commissioning our first commercial deployment, which will be installed on board a tanker vessel in 2025. We are happy to connect with interested investors to discuss our upcoming Series A, as well as potential partners as we move to commercialize our technology. Thanks, and we hope to connect soon.
Let's go from big boats to small ones. Our next company, Open Ocean Robotics, is revolutionizing ocean data collection with their solar-powered, fully autonomous surface vessels. These unmanned vessels can stay at sea for months, collecting critical data on things such as marine ecosystems, biodiversity, and illegal fishing activities. With a brand new production facility recently opened, Open Ocean Robotics is set to expand its fleet and data services globally, democratizing access to ocean data like never before. Here is Julia from Open Ocean Robotics with more info.
Hi, I'm Julie Angus. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Open Ocean Robotics. I'm passionate about the ocean. In fact, I love it so much that I spent 5 months rowing across the ocean. That's a journey that showed me the beauty of the ocean, but also the challenges of being on it. And it led me to found Open Ocean Robotics, a company designed to revolutionize how we understand and operate on our oceans using uncrewed surface vehicles and AI. Our oceans are vast, and as a result, it is very challenging to monitor them. But it is also a massive opportunity, and we offer ocean monitoring that is more sustainable, more affordable, and safer, unlocking the value that data can provide to ocean industries. Our ocean monitoring is 95% more affordable than traditional methods, and it produces 0 greenhouse gas emissions. Our technology, Data Explorer, which is our uncrewed surface vehicle, and Explorer View, which is our cloud-based AI-driven portal, provide better ways to see our ocean. We have operated in some of the most challenging conditions in the world. We have over 4,500 operational hours on 3 oceans around the world, and we've worked with some of the globe's most demanding clients. We've worked with WildAid to showcase how our technology can help marine protected areas ensure that they're free of illegal fishing. We've also worked with offshore wind company, Vineyard Wind, where we demonstrated how our technology can provide real-time marine mammal monitoring. We also have a great team. Our team is driven, impact-focused, and leading the way in sustainable ocean monitoring. We are based here in Victoria, Canada, where we have a 12,000 square foot facility where we manufacture, engineer, and operate out of. We just opened an office in Halifax, Canada, and we are expanding to Singapore. We have raised $13 million in blended finance, and we have $5.5 million in revenue to date. We just closed a $2.8 million financing round, and we are getting ready for our Series A next year, which will be a $10 million round that will help us scale operations globally. I'm Julie Angus. I'm CEO of Open Ocean Robotics. Thank you for listening to me today, and please come join me at our table afterwards to learn more about how we're revolutionizing ocean monitoring.
Now let's jump from collecting data to collecting energy. Our next company, Flask, has developed an ingenious energy storage solution for offshore environments. Their hydropneumatic technology integrates seamlessly with offshore wind farms, providing a cost-effective and environmentally friendly alternative to traditional battery storage. Flask is well positioned to help project developers improve the economics of their investments, facilitating more offshore energy development in the process. Here's Daniel and his team to share more about what they're building at Flask.
Hi, I'm Daniel Bohajar, co-founder and CEO at Flask. Offshore wind is like good sushi. It has to be consumed as soon as it's available. And if offshore wind will become the powerhouse of Europe, how do we make sure we can consume all of it, even when there's no immediate demand? And what happens when there's no wind? This problem will soon cost 100 billion euros a year. It's already decreasing offshore wind profitability, and you may have heard of several projects getting delayed or cancelled, which is ultimately compromising a crucial transition to cleaner sources of energy. Flask has developed a unique solution to store energy where it is produced, right below the wind farm itself, so it can then be delivered when it is needed most. Our solution is specifically designed for offshore and uses a combination of compressed air and pressurized liquid to store energy in a safe and sustainable manner, effectively beating batteries at their own game. Locating our energy storage system offshore increases the value of the wind energy being sold while making use of the offshore space already occupied by the wind farm. We have validated this with an extensive techno-economic analysis together with energy giant Siemens Energy, where we evaluated business cases using real data from 26 wind farms across the UK and calculated a payback period of 5 to 7 years. Collaboration is at the heart of our business model, designed to eliminate offshore execution risk while enabling us to rapidly scale. Flask delivers a repeatable hardware module that fits in a standard container, while the rest of the offshore infrastructure is delivered by proven partners in the field. For example, we also have a collaboration with Subsea 7, a global leader in the delivery of offshore energy projects. This delivery model ensures we can quickly access our target customers all over the world. In fact, we already have secured 7 LOIs from leading wind developers. Now, I used to work in the battery industry, but I saw an opportunity for something better. So I quit my job and moved to the Netherlands to focus full-time on Flask. Together with my co-founders, we have built a world-class team with over 100 years of combined experience, surrounded by a network of seasoned advisors across the offshore energy spectrum, also with experience in project finance and M&A. We will need 5 million euros over the next 18 months to fully qualify our system and secure our first commercial project. 2.5 million has already been secured as a grant from the EIC Accelerator, Europe's most prestigious grant awarded to the top 5% of European startups. We have also secured the first investment from Katapult Ocean and have up to 25% of the funding need soft committed from the EIB. Our target is to close the round by May 2025. We have a proven, patented solution for one of the biggest problems at the heart of the energy transition. With early traction and the support of world-class delivery partners, our goal is to become a global leader in offshore energy storage and flexibility towards a cleaner and more equitable energy future. And we invite you to join us on this journey. Thank you.
Now you might be wondering, what about the water beneath those wind farms? Well, our next company has that covered. Meet Flocean. Based here in Norway, pioneering an incredible innovation, subsea desalination systems. With their cutting-edge technology, Flocean is taking freshwater production right down to the ocean floor. A solution that could transfer water supply for coastal and island communities around the world. By leveraging the natural pressure at ocean depth, Flocean systems operate more efficiently than traditional desalination plants, which means lower energy use and reduced costs. With billions affected by water scarcity, Flocean's technology could be a game changer in securing sustainable access to fresh water for the future. Now, let's hear from Flocean.
Hi, I'm Alex, founder of Flocean. I've spent my life in and around oceans at the intersection of subsea engineering, business and nature. Flocean was created with a group of fellow pioneers to tackle one of the world's biggest challenges, water scarcity. So we turn deep seawater into a sustainable source of drinking water. 2/3 of the global population live in areas with water stress, and the problem is escalating rapidly. Desalination is part of the solution, but current methods are costly and really energy intensive, and they have toxic brine discharge that is really damaging marine ecosystems. Traditional desal plants are also vulnerable to weather events, algae blooms, and security risks. So creating a better solution is more urgent than ever. Flocean taps into the natural and predictably clean and pressurized water at 400 to 600 meter ocean depth. Here, our scalable system consistently converts seawater to drinking water at a low cost. Positioned within 10 kilometers from shore, our system is modularized to produce between 5 and 50 million liters of freshwater per day. Flocean reduces energy use by up to 50%. It eliminates toxic brine discharge and is completely unaffected by storms and algae blooms. Flocean uses 95% less land than traditional plants and offers the most resilient water supply available anywhere. The global desalination market is worth over $20 billion and growing exponentially, with some regions even doubling demand every 6 years. Flocean's technology is directly applicable to over 90 countries that meet our core criteria. We use a build, own, operate business model, structuring projects with bankable, long-term offtake agreements that yield more than 15% unlevered internal rate of return. We have secured initial agreements in 3 countries with high-level government endorsements. We also have first water coming from a large demo unit by the first half of 2026. Our team has decades of subsea systems experience and even our own subsea test facility. The technology has been validated by a large third party, and we work closely with strategic partners like Siemens Energy. We are backed by Tier 1 investors including Katapult Ocean, Nysnø Climate Investments, and Burnt Island Ventures, the most active water tech VC in the world. To develop our pipeline in parallel to operating our large demo unit, we are currently pursuing a €5 million financing. Later, we will launch a larger round to fund the rollout of several plants and secure a first-mover advantage. Investors will have an opportunity to fund the commercial projects as well as co-owning the technology. Together, we can meet the world's rising demand for freshwater while reducing emissions and restoring our oceans.
From pressure systems to carbon pumps. Next up is GigaBlue, a pioneer in marine carbon sequestration. The solution sits at the intersection between technology and nature, enhancing the ocean's capacity for carbon drawdown at gigaton scale. Here's GigaBlue to explain how.
Oceans are the largest entity on Earth and holds a great potential for climate regulation. And once we use it responsibly, we can do great things.
What we are doing here is not just important to us, it's important to all of the world. We are developing a technology to solve climate change.
By removing CO2 from the atmosphere and oceans, we will reduce temperatures and help the ocean cope with acidification effects. And this would enormously help the ecosystem to restore itself.
If we take carbon out of the surface ocean, over time we take carbon out of the atmosphere, which is what we're hoping to do, because it's the carbon in the atmosphere that's causing those challenges. So more phytoplankton growth in the surface ocean leads eventually to more carbon coming out of the atmosphere. Once we get carbon into the ocean sediments, it's going to stay there for thousands of years or longer, and the potential to scale up to more and more of the ocean is massive.
We're here to help verify and validate that GigaBlue's particles and their plan or their procedure for capturing carbon works. Scientists have been using echo-sounders in a quantitative sense since the 1930s. They're now very accurate, and very stable and very reliable instruments.
Climate change is a crushingly urgent problem for society. The challenge we face is that the warmer it gets, the bigger the impact will be and the fewer choices that humanity will have.
Global warming is reaching a planetary tipping point. Real climate impact will be a result of a strong partnership between suppliers, corporates, and governments working together to accelerate CDR and achieve global net zero goals. The maturity of carbon dioxide removal solutions is coming at the right time, and the ability to deliver countries and corporates with a reliable, measurable CDR solution is now.
Now, let's shift our focus for the moment from the depths of the ocean to our coastal ecosystems. Our next founders at Treeconomy are revolutionizing the carbon offset market with their advanced forest monitoring technology and financing platform. Using a combination of satellite imagery, LiDAR, and on-ground sensors, they provide the most accurate and transparent carbon sequestration data available. On top of this, they've built a platform to serve as a crucial bridge for industry stakeholders, connecting project developers with carbon credit buyers and project financiers, making Treeconomy particularly well suited to unlock the blue carbon markets, especially in areas like mangrove restoration and conservation. With all that in mind, please meet Treeconomy.
Hello, I'm Harry, CEO and co-founder at Treeconomy. We're a nature restoration and carbon removal business building AI systems to quantify nature. Nature restoration is the climate and carbon removal solution that we need today. We all know that trees and mangroves remove carbon. But the question is, how much? And how do we measure this? This is a $50 billion question. Every company needs to procure carbon removal to hit their net zero targets. Creating sources of this carbon removal supply and being able to prove it is big business. AI hyperscalers like Microsoft are leading the charge as buyers, and the recently formed Symbiosis Coalition explicitly seeks 20 million tons of removal from nature-based solutions. These companies currently can't find enough high-quality supply to meet their demand. The problem sits with project developers, the organizations creating the projects on the ground. They lack tools and data to design, plan, and monitor their projects. They're small teams with lots to do, and they lack the network or access to big buyers, nor the capacity to absorb the due diligence. And perhaps most of all, they lack finance to create their projects if they get this far. Treeconomy is building the vertical software platform for project developers to build better projects faster and more profitably. We give them easy-to-use remote sensing tools to build and monitor their impact. And we connect them to buyers through offtake contracts and our network of project funders. Our unique selling point is built around superior data. We've been building machine learning systems to analyze precision 3D data for over 3 years. This is fundamental to building trust in project impact, supporting higher brokerage prices, better financing terms, and more money directed to nature restoration. And we're seeing serious traction this year. We've had a 300% increase in sign-ups from our core user group, the project developers. We've also built our brand with landmark carbon removal sales to the likes of British Airways. Myself and Rob as co-founders bring deep expertise of our market. We have the in-house data and remote sensing science capability and a roster of expert advisors supporting us technically and commercially. We're now in advanced negotiations for a $400 million carbon purchase agreement with a major buyer, which will be our 0 to 1 proof point for our business model and go-to-market strategy. This will confirm $28 million of revenue over a 15-year period to Treeconomy, and it's from just one project. We have an additional 4 projects already being diligenced, but we need additional resource. We've done a huge amount as a lean team of 12 and are now stretched thin due to the surge in demand that we've had this year. We're now raising a late seed round of $5 million. We already have $1 million of this committed and are seeking value-aligned investors who can back us now and after our next inflection point. Thank you.
Keeping our focus onshore for now, our next company, Forelight, is bringing a new dawn to sustainable and scalable indoor microalgae cultivation. Their proprietary cultivation technology achieves significant efficiency gains and cost savings, optimizing for growth while reducing energy consumption by 3 to 5x compared to traditional indoor methods. Given that energy is by far the largest cost component of microalgae production, by integrating Forelight's technology, costs can now be contemplated that could make microalgae a true economical commodity, unlocking major opportunities in large, high-yield sectors such as plant-based food, animal feeds, and biologically derived industrial chemicals that traditionally have relied on resource and energy-intensive ingredients. Here's Forlight now with more.
Hi everyone, I'm Tim Fitzgerald, CEO of Forlight, and we are transforming the $100 billion biomanufacturing sector by dramatically lowering the energy cost of indoor photosynthesis. Now, we've all seen the recent explosion in biomanufacturing, which turns genetically modified yeasts and molds and bacteria into everything, from alternative meats to bioplastics. And it's a big reason why several analysts see the sector tripling to $300 billion by 2040. But while the cool kind of bio half of the equation has gotten all the attention, the manufacturing part still mostly relies on an 8,000-year-old technology, fermentation, which in turn relies on a 10,000-year-old agricultural system to fuel it. But this aging agricultural system isn't so reliable anymore. It's running out of land, it needs to cut its own fossil emissions by 2/3, and is increasingly threatened by climate change. And this much less glamorous manufacturing half, it's going to need some innovation too. And fortunately at Forlight, it's this boring stuff that excites us. Now, we focused exclusively on this manufacturing challenge with the goal of making it more secure and sustainable, but also able to meet the cost requirements of markets like food and chemicals. So how do we do this? Well, first, we use photosynthetic microalgae to avoid the dependence on agriculture, since microalgae make their own food from light and CO2. It's also more sustainable and biodiverse, so it doesn't depend on genetic engineering, which is also good for food and feed applications. Second, we solve the core cost of manufacturing barrier of growing this inside, and that's energy use, which can make up as much as 2/3 of total production costs. And I spent most of my career in the energy sector, and my partner Steve spent equal time leading bench to scale innovation, and much of this in the low margin, high volume world of industrial scale food. And our team spent 2 years developing an entirely new suite of industrial manufacturing designs that use 2 to 4 times less energy than previous approaches. And this energy reduction can reduce overall production costs by as much as 50%, making it possible to move from high-priced, low-volume products into the more mainstream food and chemicals. So maybe not so boring after all. Now, I'd love at this point to show you pictures of all this, but we're still in stealth mode as we continue to expand this IP portfolio. But what I can tell you is this: we are already working at the R&D level with 2 of the largest global companies in food and aquaculture. We're backed by a great group of current investors. We have a clear execution and funding roadmap that starts with establishing operational beachheads in food, feeds, and chemicals, and transitions to licensing and acquisition-driven growth. This technology will be the cornerstone of realizing this $300 billion opportunity, creating secure food for millions of people, removing hundreds of millions of tons of CO2, and generating high multiple returns for investors and partners. Now, we are actively recruiting additional early-stage investors, R&D partners, and team members who love deep tech with the power to change the world. In other words, partners who want to say when the next generation asks, yes, I helped build that. Thank you for your time.
Now let's go even smaller, from the microscopic to the nanoscopic. Next up it is Neptune Nanotechnologies, a Canadian company transforming fish waste into valuable nanomaterials. Their innovative process extracts chitin from fish processing byproducts, converting it into high-performance additives for industries such as plastics, epoxies, and paper. This not only reduces waste in the fishing industry, but also significantly reduces the need for virgin plastics in manufacturing sectors using these materials. Let's hear from Aaron and his team now on how they're creating a more sustainable future.
My name is Aaron Guan, founder and CEO of Neptune. At Neptune, we're turning organic fishing waste into advanced nanotechnology that solves the performance and sustainability challenges of the materials industry. Now, every year, over 300 million tons of plastics ends up in the landfill or the ocean. This is a serious environmental crisis that needs to be addressed immediately. Some may think that paper-based material is a good alternative to plastics because they're more biodegradable. However, paper is weak and they rip easily, they get soggy when wet, and they still rely on plastic coatings and toxic chemical additives in their manufacturing process. We desperately need a sustainable solution to address all of these shortcomings. This is a $53 billion market opportunity, and at Neptune, we have found the answer. We have the proprietary ability to convert organic fishing waste, such as crab, shrimp, and lobster shells, into a super material called chitin nanocrystal. It is stronger than steel, lighter than plastic, impermeable, and fully biodegradable. We can simply add it directly into paper pulp or apply it as a coating to make paper 3 times stronger, 10 times more water resistant, and 100 times more antibacterial. We can say goodbye to that disgusting soggy paper straw with none of the environmental drawbacks. This set of value propositions have resonated strongly with our customers. We currently have over 24 active projects, often with Fortune 500 companies, and have received purchase orders from one of the largest pet food manufacturers in the world. Furthermore, the application potential of chitin nanocrystals extend far beyond packaging material. Wind power, aerospace, automotive, composites, these are all industries where we can add strength, reduce weight, replace toxic chemical additives, which all leads to cascading lifecycle benefits in both performance and sustainability. We have a strong team led by yours truly, who is the founder and CEO, an inventor with 9 patents and a Forbes 30 under 30 recipient, and I'm also surrounded by other top-tier talents with equally impressive CVs. In less than 2 short years of our existence, we have raised $1.5 million to date from top-tier institutions globally, assembled a talented team, filed multiple patents, and we have built the first pilot production plant of its kind anywhere in the world dedicated to the synthesis and production of chitin nanocrystals. As the next step, we're looking to raise $3 million in additional capital to scale our capabilities to satisfy the pent-up demand that we have already built and eventually scale Neptune Nano into a global leader in the sustainable nanomaterial space. Thank you.
From the nanoscopic to the massive, GBM Works, based in the Netherlands, is revolutionizing offshore wind construction with their silent foundation installation technology. Their innovative method reduces underwater noise pollution significantly, protecting marine life while accelerating the deployment of offshore wind farms. As wind turbines become larger and proliferate more in the coming years, GBM is positioned as the only technology on the market capable of installing turbines within environmental noise limits. Here is GBM Works to tell you more about their solution.
Hello everyone, I'm Govert Meijer, CEO of GBM Works. As a child, I enjoyed building sand castles at the beach. As a technical expert in coastal engineering, I've puzzled with sand for 30 years and eventually decided to make a business out of it. I'm passionate about sustainability, reason to give all my energy to a silent method to install wind farms at sea. What you just heard is a reduced version of the noise that marine life is exposed to. Because of this noise, regulations are put in place and expensive noise mitigation measures are required when installing monopiles at sea. With the silent vibrojet, we reduce noise during installation by 68%. No need anymore for costly and inefficient mitigation measures. Let's take a closer look. How vibrojet works. Our patented technology combines vibration with water jetting. By liquefying the soil with the jets, we reduce the friction during installation, leading to a much faster, efficient and more silent operation. Current installation methods make the noise and try to mitigate them afterwards. Vibrojet simply does not make the noise. We are intrinsically silent. Worldwide ambitions for green energy lead to the market growing at 19% per year to a €4 billion market in 2030. As a first mover, we will take a significant stake. Everybody says they have a great team, but the proof is in the pudding. Our team has pulled together technical development, subsidies up to 10 million, and our first commercial order worth 7.5 million. With the existing team of 25, we are ready to take the company to the next level. We are at an inflection point of the company's development. To achieve the goals, we are completing our seed round at 7.5 million. We have secured 6 million of that round. We are providing you the opportunity to invest 1.5 million, which gives you the ability to step up for the Series A afterwards. The funding will be used to complete proof of technology, providing the company the stepping stone to become the market leader. We are incredibly excited about the future, where we will contribute to a silent ocean filled with undisturbed marine life. If you are enthusiastic to invest in GBM Works, a groundbreaking company, let's meet.
Let's dive back into the world of algae, this time with focus on seaweed farming right in the ocean. Our next company, Seedling, is transforming the seaweed industry across Southeast Asia by aggregating supply from smaller local seaweed farmers. They're creating a reliable and sustainable source of versatile marine resource. Seedling then upcycles the seaweed they collect into high-value ingredients for multiple industries. This approach not only drives economic growth for the coastal communities they partner with, they also promote sustainable aquaculture in one of the world's richest seaweed-producing regions. Now, let's hear from the team at Seedling to learn more about their work.
I first discovered seaweed 8 years ago. I had exited my last business and I was sailing a yacht around the world, and it was incredible. But every day I was so upset by the destruction I was seeing in the oceans, simply because there were no sustainable industries in tropical seas. And then I discovered seaweed, and I became obsessed and ended up living with seaweed farmers for 2 years so that I could understand how this industry works and how we could unlock it to transform our food systems. Food and agriculture today is undergoing a major shift as manufacturers are pushed by consumer demand for natural products, while at the same time meeting their own ambitious carbon targets. Seaweed ingredients are the #1 solution to solve this. And it's going to happen in the tropics, where there's a long history of farming, year-round sunshine, thousands of species to tap into, and millions of experienced seaweed farmers. But it's incredibly low-tech. There are many problems that are choking the growth and evolution of this sector. So, in beautiful Borneo, we're developing a biotech platform for next-generation seaweed ingredients. Our own proprietary seaweed varieties are growing at double the speed of others. We can seamlessly plug in new species into our platform, and we can scale at will. Most importantly, we have a value chain that is optimized for quality, supply, and cost that gives us defensible advantages over our competitors and the ability to revolutionize the seaweed industry. We're growing a portfolio of B2B ingredients for animals, plants, and humans. We don't sell raw seaweed. We've developed fermentation technology, which we've patented, which allows us to deliver enhanced, science-backed functional ingredients with targeted benefits that manufacturers are looking for. We're currently focused on the pet food market because margins are very attractive, and in the coming years we'll be expanding our range to humans and to other animal groups. Our customers include some of the biggest manufacturers in the world, and we're growing fast. We started in the US at the beginning of this year, we recently launched in Japan, and in early 2025 we'll be expanding to Europe. Our team is the top talent in tropical seaweed science. My co-founder Lynn was for 25 years the seed manager of the world's largest land seaweed farm, and alongside her are Asia's brightest minds in seaweed cultivation and product development. We'll be opening our Series A in mid-2025, and we've mapped out multiple exit opportunities for our investors that deliver competitive returns and major impact for our planet. We'd like to invite you to visit us in beautiful Borneo so that you can experience the vastness of seaweed farming and the incredible opportunity that we have to transform our food systems and regenerate our oceans. Once again, we are Seedling. I'm Simon Davis. Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, we have a company that's tackling one of the most pressing issues of our time. Waterwhelm is addressing the issue of water scarcity with their highly energy-efficient desalination technology. Their unique forward osmosis system requires up to 80% less electricity and produces far fewer emissions than conventional methods of desalination, making clean water production more accessible and affordable for water-stressed regions around the world. With their technology already being used by the largest water companies on the planet, Waterwhelm is poised to make a significant global impact on water security. To wrap things up, let's hear from the innovative team behind Waterwhelm.
My name is Ali and I'm the founder at Waterwhelm. I have spent the past 12 years of my life developing a sustainable solution for water supply. So through years of R&D, piloting and commercial development, Waterwhelm offers the world's lowest ever rate of electricity consumption and CO2 emissions for water reuse and desalination. In 1961, John F. Kennedy said, if we could ever get fresh water out of salt water at a cheap rate, that would really dwarf any other scientific accomplishments. 4 years later, the world's first reverse osmosis desalination plant was built in California. Fast forward 60 years, and reverse osmosis is still the go-to technology for desalination. While this is a proven solid technology, desalination has not been able to solve the world's increasing water scarcity challenges, simply because it is expensive. And it is expensive because it uses lots of electricity. Up to 45% of cost of desalinated water can be associated with electricity consumption. Now, the reason for this massive cost component is the requirement for running at high pressure in reverse osmosis. Waterwhelm uses a completely different method for desalinating water, which does not rely on high pressure and in comparison reduces electricity consumption by 80%, whilst also using more resilient membranes. Our patented technology uses a safe FDA-approved draw solution that pulls water through a membrane instead of pushing it at high pressure against the membrane. So we make use of the natural forces of osmosis. We then utilize sources of waste heat or solar thermal energy to separate and recirculate the solution in a closed loop. The technology has been validated through our pilot plant at a Veolia site, where we are currently building our first commercial water reuse unit based on a subscription or water as a service model. We are also building a seawater desalination demonstration plant in Saudi Arabia for SWCC, the world's largest desalination operator. We have a very experienced leadership team with individuals who have taken early stage companies through the tech development, commercial growth, and exit journey. We also enjoy having a team of experts with over 200 years of combined technical experience to take this breakthrough solution to the global market, worth over $40 billion. So Waterwhelm has a solution to address the increasing global water shortages, the world's lowest ever rate of electricity consumption and CO2 emissions for water reuse and desalination. We have raised £3.5 million so far to propel Waterwhelm forward, and we are here to engage with potential clients, partners, and investors. So get in touch if you would like to be part of this incredible journey. Thank you.
In this industry, collaboration is key. Katapult Ocean is one of the founding members of the 1000 Ocean Startups Coalition. 1000 Ocean Startups is an initiative launched in 2021 by incubator, accelerators and VCs funds, with the goal of contributing to the achievement of SDG 14, Life Below Water. As the name suggests, the coalition aims to nurture at least 1,000 innovative startups addressing ocean-related challenges by 2030. It started as a dugnad, as we say in Norwegian, meaning voluntary work, where all the members contributed pro bono. Now the Secretariat, or the Lighthouse as it's named, is hosted by World Economic Forum, and the members contribute where their passion is through different working groups. The Ocean Impact Navigator that we and the other coalition members use for our impact measurement and reporting is the result of the work in this coalition. Coming back from the annual gathering of the 1,000 ocean startups, we in Katapult Ocean are certain that collaboration is key. The challenge is too big for any organization or investors to handle on their own, but together we can achieve a lot. The coalition's motto is to give more than you take, which we believe is important when it comes to creating collaboration and long-term impact. As one of the other founding members stated during the annual gathering, since the number of members has increased threefold from 17 to 49, think about the exponential growth of possible collaborations. We hope that you investors here today both find some interesting startups to support and collaborate with.
We hope you enjoyed hearing from our 2024 portfolio companies. These 12 teams represent the cutting edge of ocean technology, and their incredible solutions are not just addressing critical environmental challenges, but they're also tapping into markets with enormous growth potential.
We at Katapult are proud to support these visionaries as they work to create a more sustainable future for our planet and our living ocean. And we encourage you to stick around now to engage with the founders.
Because each of these teams will be available for you in the breakout rooms the next 30 minutes or so. So please drop by and say hello.
Thank you so much for joining us and our Ocean Impact Investing community. On behalf of the entire team at Katapult Ocean here in Norway, God jul og godt nyttår.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.